So hello and welcome back, guys. So this is again another video in the series. So this is a continuation of the previous video. So if you're just joining us right now, then please at least make sure you watch the previous video, because that is the start of subscriptions in Django. So please just watch that before you come over here. So let us try running the server, because in the last video, that is where we left off. The video was becoming long, and so if you see, when I started running the server, it tells us that this is not set because we are trying to use WebSockets, yet we have not set the ASGI application. So our ASGI application is basically this. So it's inside router and then it's application. So you just take this, and then the directory and the application and the app is the same. So what you just need to set over here is just it is from the router. So let us try running the server, run the server, and we expect that the server should be able to run now. So the server started. So browser should, yeah, so let us try subscribing. So basically just write subscription. So if you can see over here, there is, in the last videos, if you've been checking, we've been only having queries and mutations. So now we have subscription. So I think, please, if this subscription reminds you, this subscription just reminds me that you need to subscribe to my channel. So please, guys, do that real quick. If you've not, no, I mean, it's not, I'm not forcing you, but please just consider that. So just subscribe. So we have this subscription, and inside subscription, you see we have a notify to do. So we just call subscription, and then it's to notify to do, and then the username, you see it's asking for username, which in our case we need to know what our username is, because in front end obviously you'll be fetching. So this is basically to get who you are. So you normally call me, and then we just want the username. So this comes with the Django GraphQL-ws. It just comes with all of these. Me, this is a way to get the current logged in user. So me is Kim, so just place here to be Kim, because I know that is the user. And then whenever that happens, you always want to be getting orders to do. Wow, that is really helpful. Title, and then timestamp, date, time is important, and then I think user, do you want user? Let's just say user ID. I think that is just enough for that. So you see, when we did that, it started as printer over here, but let us check over here. So you see, guys, that just brings you an error that it tried establishing connection to this URL and it could not find it. That is because if you go to our router, you see it was WebSocket GraphQL. So this, I think, for some reason, this URL, I don't know how to specifically set the URL, but we can just make it at least get what it expects, which we know it's basically this. It expects to find this. So let us try saving and we go to console, and maybe let us clear and retry the connection and see. So let's connect. Boom, I think connection just happened. You see, yes, connection just happened. You see WebSocket, handshake, and then connection. So this is basically the normal WebSockets thing, but everything has almost been done for you. So you want, whenever you create you create an order, you want to forward that, but so far we've not been able to do that, because let us go to our to do, then going to schema over here. Then you see, as of now, whenever a mutation is created, we still return it the old way. But what we want to do instead is to broadcast. So it's broadcast. I hope it's that function. I know it's that function. I should not hope. And the first argument is basically payload. We can specify payload because the info and that whatever will always be set by our consumer, which is using the middleware for authentication. Say the broadcast is, where is the broadcast? It's in our case the to do, and then the user is the current user dot username. Username is username info dot get user. So basically this is it. Dot username. So do the same thing for mutation again over here. Instead of returning, you can say this is to do is that, and then just come and do that, notify and broadcast the to do. So guys, that is it for this. So let us try now creating a to do, and I hope it really works. So let me just, broadcast is a method that this has, and it's basically what we will just broadcast to the channel that it should, which in our case is for a given username. So I don't think that should really be hard. So let us try duplicating this tab, and instead of subscription we do a mutation and create order, create to do. What? I just keep saying date time. Let's say it's 2021 12, maybe 02. Visit here. So this is a create to do, and basically what you want to return is to do, and then just say id attribute broadcast. That's not the way to write broadcast, guy. Broadcast. I believe I should know better than that. Broadcast got unexpected keyword argument username. Okay, you see, I'm really doing a mistake over here. So what you should be broadcasting to is the name of the group, which in our case is username, not the username. I just imagined what I was supposed to call the group, but here it's the argument is group. So I'm really sorry for that. The argument is supposed to be group, and then that is the payload obviously to do. So again over here it's group. So that is the arguments for the broadcast. I was really doing a bad thing over there, and then finally it is something I realized again over here. So you see, in create to do, I created a to do and then I'm returning it as it's supposed to be something like this, because it's just a created to do we want to return. So, and again we need to at least return something, because this is obviously a response, so you want to return something to user. So let's return just create to do to be, let us return a success message whenever it's created. So let us say success is equals to true. So let us just create here a success is equals to graphene.boolean. So that will either be true or false every time success is the successful post or update. So again over here you want to return success true whenever it's updated, and you don't want to return before you call the notify to do broadcast, because that is when you want to go and handle some things. And then instead of create, now we are trying to update, return an update. And then over here you see username publish, we are returning it over here. So guys, I think that is it. So let us try now running this. Run it. Okay, it's running. So let us create a subscription. So it's let us create a mutation for create to do, and then just, so first I'll forward this. So I created to do that whenever it's successful, then it returns successful. So let's try creating it. So this is it again, guys. So this is an error I've been getting for quite some time. Pyjwt is, I think, version 1.2, version 2.0 has some issues. So in all my recent application, I've been using 1.7. So it's pip install py.1. so you want to install this version because version 2, which is installed by default on creating our environment, doesn't just work very well. Already satisfied. So, and why am I getting that error then? So guys, you remember that error? So I just cannot find a way to solve that error. So let me show you a simple way to do it. I think the error is with date conversion with serialization using graphene. I don't know the error exactly where it is, but we could just do this. Like, let's make our own serializer. So we know that the ID is supposed to be todo.id. Then we can just say title, or we can just return ID, because at some point, if you know how to solve that error, then guys, please let me know. But I think this serializer should at least work for and show us that the whole thing is just working. It's just some errors I cannot find, but I'll go and do more research. If I find a way, I'll come and show you so fast. And please subscribe again so that you can see that, because I think it's working in my Ubuntu, but it's just failed over here. So let us go and test creating the user. No, we just need to find a way first to send this payload. So update it to do, then just the, I think now we have to say that we have to just call it payload, then just call it graphene. Please, again, if you know how we can send, what do we call an object, like an object, yeah, an object like a dictionary, then please feel free to leave it down here. And then just say this one to payload to be the payload, which is over. Oh, this is really bad. This is really bad. So this actually should come over here, and again this payload should come over here. So I think that should possibly work for us, but if it doesn't, then we'll find a way to just convert that into something that can work. It's a demo project, it's not a real world project, so but you should find a way to make it happen. So let's do that. So you see create success true, and let us go over here. Subscription was possibly not done. Let us try refreshing this and just create over here. For some reason the data is not being forwarded. Okay, I think it's because I'm not requesting over here. It's over here. I should be requesting not to do's but payload, which I know is what should be sent. So I'm really sorry for that, guys. And you see I get the payload now, but now you should at least find a way to do that in a nice way. So guys, so for this video, that is it. At least you see now we can make graphene. So this is basically where every user, this is the reason why we had to make this thing here was so as to cover for this thing will be passing group here. This group determines the name that was this. Whenever you do this, it's added to the group, and that is why we have to do it here by broadcasting it over here. So guys, that is it for this video. Please don't forget to subscribe and like, and maybe I'll find a video to just show you the way I will have solved this, because I think in my Windows, in my Linux, I solved that by installing pyjwt 1.7 1, or was it 0, and it worked. But for this, it just couldn't work. So guys, have a nice time and goodbye.